Which school is good for my son or my daughter? Many parents have asked me this question. They wanted to put their child into a kindergarten sometimes, or sometimes it may be to choose the right high school. Parents want to take a right decision for their children. So many times they ask the questions like, is CBSE good, or is ICSE good, or is it state board? Where should I put my child? Some parents even talk about, should I put my child into an international school? Is it a good idea? Or some parents are of the kind which will say, I want my child to have a holistic development. Maybe I want to put my child into a school where there is a bit of tradition and also some culture is being taught. So all these are basic questions that parents do have. However, the choice of ICSE or CBSE or even the state board can guarantee you the syllabus. Now, what kind of syllabus it can give, but it doesn't guarantee the quality of education. Also, the international schools sometimes can give you more comfort and luxury for your child, but you cannot say. There may be good schools, there may be also very average schools. And same applies for holistic. Okay. What are the essential features of a good school? And how do we find this before enrolling our child into the school? So I want to address these questions in this video. Here is the basic list of essential features of a good school. Good schools have, point number one, good schools have good teachers. Isn't it obvious? But still, how many schools talk about good teachers? It's very hard to attract good teachers and keep them in the school for long years. So it may be easier to, on the other hand, to actually maintain a manicured football ground. So the schools generally talk about football grounds rather than good teachers. There are three important indicators to judge whether the school has good teachers. One, school pays well for teachers. Now, teachers are paid well in a good school. Two, teachers stay there for long years. For let's say 7 years, 8 years, or 10 years, like that they stay in a school. Three, school management actually talks about the contribution of their teachers, like senior teachers. So these are the teachers who are doing this. And for young teachers, they talk about the energy level of those young teachers and their innovative methods of teaching. So school actually tries to talk about these things rather than swimming pools and other things. Okay. So these are the three major indicators to know whether the school has good teachers. So how do we find this? Whether the school pays well, for example, and whether the school has good teachers. How to find it? So there's some techniques that you can use. For example, you can ask some children who belong to that school. You can ask them who are their favorite teachers. Who do they like? Which teacher teaches well? Generally, students will give you good information on this. So you can see that repeatedly many students talk about the same names. So you know that how many good teachers are there in the school. And secondly, if you just ask around, in the sense, some even in the neighboring schools, if you know one teacher, you can actually figure out in that area what is the general salary in that particular school, how much they pay. Is it a good salary? How to find out? Is there a way to find out? There are some simple formulas that you can use. For example, you know how much fee you pay to the school. So you take your monthly fee of the fee that you pay to the school for your child and multiply that fee with the number of children in a section and then divide it by 5. So if the school is paying that much of salary to the teacher, then it's a good. It's just a ballpark. Like for example, if you are paying 1.2 lakhs per annum, then it comes to around 10,000 per month. So you are paying 10,000 per month. So into 30, let's say 30 children are there in a section. So it would be around 3 lakhs. So now 3 lakhs divided by 5 will come to around 60,000. Average salary of the teacher, if it is around 60,000, that means they are doing a decent job. So you know that teachers are being paid well in a school. So this is one way of figuring out whether the teachers are being paid well. So second thing is, you also can listen to some of their the schools will have what they call open day, where students are prospective students are basically addressed and they talk about the school. So whether they mention about teachers, so you can find out from that how much they basically respect the teachers. So this is the first point. The first point was good schools generally have good teachers. So what is the second point? Second point is good schools have big playgrounds. This is not surprising. Okay, they have to have, the children have to have playgrounds. But nowadays, the playgrounds are not given a lot of importance because they think that academic success is the only success. But even for the academic success, you need playground. So children have to be in good mood and in good physical strength and good fitness to be able to learn. So good schools have good physical education teachers who are very, very motivated, and they make sure that children actually play all sorts of sports and games and all these things. In fact, when you go to a school, you go to their playground and stand there and see that various groups of children, multiple aged children are with different groups they are playing. You can talk to even the physical education teacher and ask simple questions like how many periods per week a child has for physical education, or we can say PT. If the school says, let's say 1 per week, 40 minutes per week, you know that is not the school where you are going to put your child. It must be ideally at least 1 period per day. It could be, for example, at least 3 to 4 periods in a week. So figure that out before you put a child, that they give enough importance to games and physical training. So that is the second point. So let's go to third point. The third point is good schools have good libraries and big libraries. When you visit the school, you ask to be taken to a library. So you go and see the library. Library must have not only books of what their syllabus prescribes, but higher level books too, and a lot of generic books. And more than everything, if you stand in the library and see, you must be seeing teachers sitting and studying. Teachers studying in the library is most important. When teachers study, students also will study. So you can ask the librarian, for example, do smaller children have every day 1 period for library, or maybe 2 to 3 days a week at least for library? Will they come and study? Or even bigger children, will they be allowed to come to library whenever they want to, even after school time? So these indicators give you an idea how much they give importance to studies. So this is basically a good indicator rather than your final year results of 95%. How many people scored 90%? That is not the indicator. How many people are studying in the library? That is a good indicator to know whether they give importance to academics. So the fourth point is the good schools have good laboratories. And these laboratories are not just for namesake. So go and visit school's laboratory and see whether they have, first of all, laboratories for all different age groups differently done. And these labs basically should have students to be able to touch and feel everything, and even bigger children should be able to conduct their own experiments, all that. I mean, beware of such schools where they will just showcase like mathematics laboratory and nothing happens inside. So it's almost like they will use it for their dance practice or something like that. So laboratories are very important for us, where children can try out whatever they have done. And finally, to understand the attitude of the school, good schools do not boast about their academic results. They don't boast because they understand that it is not just about the final results that matter. Results are basically a byproduct. They don't. If you enter the school, if you see a big board with lots of students' names, students' photographs, last year above 90%, then you know that you can take a right about turn and go to probably try the next school. So they don't boast. They do have photographs. They can have, for example, a photograph of science exhibition. They can have children going and winning a medal somewhere in some sports competition. You can have, let's say, some kind of a photograph on the debates that is happening. So all these kind of nice activities happening in the school, those photographs may be there, but they will not put whole wall of people above 90%. So that shows the attitude of the school. So these are the 5 points that I have listed, which are very essential for a good school. There may be few more. Talk about culture, for example, cultural festivals and literature, debates, many other activities a school is supposed to do, and also your educational trips that they conduct. Where do they take? So many different things are there, but these 5 they form the essentials to look for in a good school. Many times we talk about, for example, CBSE or state only because we think that by making that decision, we are actually finding out about this. Like, for example, if a school has CBSE syllabus, you may conclude that in that case they may have good teachers. So they are indirect indicators. But the direct indicators are these 5 different aspects that are very important for us. There is one problem though. Many so-called reputed schools, they create some artificial scarcity for seats, and you will feel blessed if you happen to get a seat for your child. They won't even allow you to ask questions. They won't even allow you inside to walk through and see their libraries and their laboratories and all that, which basically means that you don't want to go to that school. Maybe it is good, maybe it is bad, you don't know. No. You have to have a first-hand knowledge that the school is good, and you can go to the next school. They may be allowing you to ask those questions. So it is important that you ask the right questions to the school. When parents ask right questions, schools know where to give their priority to. If you ask for swimming pools, they will invest in swimming pools. If you ask for good teachers, they will invest in good teachers. So this is how you basically go and select a good school. Finally, if you want to know why I chose only these 5 parameters to decide whether the school is good or not, I have explained the concept behind this in other videos where we talk about how to build a real learning environment. And please watch those videos. We have given a link here. Enjoy.